For years, Oprah Winfrey was viewed as one of the most powerful and respected women in entertainment. She built an empire through television, interviews, philanthropy, and inspirational messaging, becoming a symbol of success to millions of people around the world. But over the last few years, especially after the devastating Maui wildfires, public opinion around Oprah suddenly started shifting in a way nobody expected. What once looked like admiration quickly turned into suspicion, criticism, and intense online speculation that spread across social media at lightning speed. It all began after the horrific fires that tore through Maui in 2023. Entire neighborhoods were destroyed, families lost their homes, and heartbreaking footage flooded the internet as people desperately searched for missing loved ones. The tragedy shocked the world, and many celebrities quickly stepped forward to offer support. Among the most talked about names were Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who announced a public fundraiser to help victims affected by the disaster. At first, the gesture appeared generous, and major media outlets praised both celebrities for stepping in during a crisis. But online, people immediately started questioning the situation. Critics pointed out that Oprah owns a massive amount of land in Maui, including thousands of acres of highly valuable property. As aerial footage of the destruction circulated online, many users noticed something they considered strange. While large areas surrounding parts of the island had been devastated, Oprah's properties appeared untouched. That observation alone fueled countless theories online, with some people beginning to ask whether wealthy elites somehow always managed to avoid disaster while ordinary residents suffered devastating losses. Then the controversy escalated even further when clips resurfaced of Hawaiian residents criticizing wealthy celebrities for buying enormous amounts of land on the islands over the years. Some locals argued that billionaires were slowly transforming sacred Hawaiian land into private luxury estates, while native residents struggled with housing costs and displacement. Suddenly, Oprah became one of the central figures in that conversation. Videos criticizing her ownership of Maui property began going viral across TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, with users accusing celebrities of profiting from land while local communities suffered. And then came the fundraiser backlash. Even though Oprah and The Rock each pledged millions of dollars to relief efforts, many people online reacted negatively to the public donation campaign. Critics argued that two of the wealthiest celebrities in the world asking ordinary people for money during a financial crisis felt out of touch. Videos discussing the fundraiser spread rapidly, with creators claiming that billionaires should fully fund relief efforts themselves instead of relying on public donations from struggling families. The criticism grew louder every single day, and before long, the internet transformed the entire situation into something much bigger than a normal celebrity controversy. That's when conspiracy theories began completely taking over social media. Some users started claiming, without evidence, that powerful elites wanted Maui land for themselves and that the fires somehow benefited wealthy property owners. Oprah's name became one of the biggest targets in those discussions. Rumors spread rapidly across TikTok and Twitter suggesting she had secret motives connected to the fires, even though no credible evidence ever supported those accusations. Still, once those theories started circulating online, they became impossible to stop. Millions of people watched videos analyzing maps of Maui, comparing fire damage, and pointing at celebrity estates as if they were clues in some massive hidden mystery. The speculation intensified when old stories about Oprah's private road in Hawaii resurfaced online. During previous emergencies on the island, social media users had criticized her for allegedly restricting access to roads crossing her property. Whether the full story was accurate or not, the internet quickly connected those older controversies to the current wildfire situation. Suddenly, years-old complaints were being reposted beside wildfire footage, creating a narrative that painted Oprah as disconnected from the struggles of ordinary residents. As emotions online became more intense, another disturbing rumor began spreading across the internet involving missing children during the chaos of the fires. Viral posts claimed large numbers of children were unaccounted for after the disaster, and conspiracy-focused creators immediately tied those rumors to celebrity names, including Oprah. Videos with dramatic music, edited clips, and emotional commentary exploded across social platforms, generating millions of views almost overnight. Even though many of the claims lacked verification, the emotional nature of the topic caused the theories to spread faster than facts could catch up. At the same time, Oprah herself responded publicly to false online rumors claiming she had been arrested or raided by authorities. She denied the accusations directly on social media, calling the stories fake and ridiculous. But ironically, the denial only fueled more discussion online. In the world of internet conspiracy culture, every response becomes part of the story. The more attention the rumors received, the more creators continued producing videos connecting Oprah to increasingly larger theories about Hollywood elites hidden networks, and secret agendas. And that is when people began revisiting Oprah's entire public image. Old interviews resurfaced. Past controversies were suddenly re-examined. Critics started accusing her of promoting questionable figures and misinformation throughout her television career. Others pointed toward her connections with powerful celebrities and political figures, arguing that Hollywood's elite circles protected each other behind closed doors. Whether fair or unfair, the internet had clearly entered a phase where people were no longer looking at Oprah as simply a beloved television icon. Instead, many viewers began seeing her as part of a much larger conversation about wealth, influence, celebrity power, and what really happens behind the scenes in Hollywood. Long before the internet became obsessed with exposing Hollywood secrets, Mel Gibson was already one of the few celebrities openly talking about the darker side of the entertainment industry. Over the years, Gibson built a reputation as someone unafraid to criticize powerful people, major studios, and the hidden culture behind fame. While many actors carefully protect their relationships in Hollywood, Mel repeatedly positioned himself as an outsider, someone who had seen things behind closed doors and no longer trusted the system controlling the industry. What made people pay even more attention was the way Gibson spoke during interviews. He rarely made direct accusations, but he constantly hinted that something disturbing existed beneath Hollywood's glamorous public image. In multiple appearances over the years, he described the entertainment industry as deeply corrupted, filled with powerful individuals who controlled careers, manipulated narratives, and protected each other from consequences. At first, many people dismissed his comments as bitterness after his own public controversies damaged his reputation. But after scandals involving major Hollywood figures started exploding into public view, people suddenly began revisiting Mel Gibson's old interviews very differently. The turning point came through the downfall of several powerful entertainment executives and celebrities accused of serious misconduct. Once names like Harvey Weinstein dominated headlines, social media users started resurfacing old clips of Mel Gibson warning about corruption in Hollywood years earlier. Suddenly, comments that once sounded exaggerated began sounding strangely believable to many viewers online. Videos compiling Gibson's interviews quickly spread across YouTube and TikTok, often framed with dramatic titles suggesting he had been trying to expose hidden truths long before the public was ready to listen. One reason audiences became fascinated with Mel Gibson again was because he seemed completely disconnected from modern Hollywood culture. And like celebrities constantly chasing approval online, Gibson often appeared blunt, unpredictable, and uninterested in pleasing the media. That rebellious image made conspiracy-focused audiences view him as more trustworthy than carefully scripted celebrities who always avoided controversial topics. To many viewers, Mel looked like someone who had already lost Hollywood's support and therefore had nothing left to fear by speaking openly. As more interviews resurfaced, viewers noticed Gibson repeatedly talking about evil existing within powerful institutions. In some appearances, he hinted that Hollywood contained individuals involved in deeply immoral behavior hidden from the public eye. He described fame as dangerous and suggested that many people in the industry sacrificed their values in exchange for power, money, and influence. Even when he avoided specifics, his wording often sounded ominous enough to trigger endless speculation online. Then the internet began connecting Mel Gibson to broader celebrity controversies involving Jeffrey Epstein, elite Hollywood circles, and powerful media figures. Compilation videos appeared claiming Gibson had insider knowledge about secret networks operating within entertainment industries. Some creators even portrayed him as one of the few actors brave enough to challenge Hollywood elites publicly. Whether those claims were exaggerated or not, the internet quickly transformed Mel Gibson into a central figure in anti-Hollywood conspiracy culture. At the same time, many viewers started comparing Gibson to other celebrities who appeared increasingly uncomfortable discussing the entertainment industry publicly. People pointed toward emotional interviews from stars like Justin Bieber, Corey Feldman, and other former child actors who described pressure, exploitation, and psychological struggles connected to fame. Online communities began grouping these stories together into one larger narrative suggesting Hollywood itself was fundamentally toxic behind the scenes. And according to many internet theories, Oprah and Ellen represented the exact type of powerful celebrity culture Gibson had spent years criticizing. Both women were viewed publicly as friendly, untouchable television icons with enormous influence in media and entertainment, but online critics argued that celebrities at that level rarely achieve such power without becoming deeply connected to Hollywood's inner circles. As conspiracy communities revisited Gibson's warnings, Oprah and Ellen increasingly became part of the conversation. One particular moment that fueled speculation was Gibson's tendency to speak about spiritual corruption and moral decay within powerful systems. and like critics who focused only on business or politics, Mel often framed Hollywood as something darker on a moral level. He talked about people losing their humanity for fame and becoming consumed by greed, ego, and control. Those comments resonated strongly with audiences already suspicious of elite celebrity culture after years of scandals involving powerful public figures. The internet then amplified every single detail. Clips of Mel looking serious during interviews were edited together with footage of celebrity parties, Epstein headlines, award show moments, and resurfaced Hollywood controversies. Dramatic background music and ominous narration turned ordinary interviews into viral exposure videos viewed millions of times online. In these edits, Mel Gibson was portrayed almost like a whistleblower figure standing against a corrupt machine much larger than himself. What made the situation even more interesting was that Gibson never fully leaned into the internet theories people created around him. He often stayed vague enough that audiences could project their own beliefs onto his statements. To supporters, that vagueness felt intentional, as if he was hinting at truths too dangerous to fully explain publicly. To critics, however, the ambiguity allowed conspiracy channels to exaggerate his comments far beyond what he actually said. Still, public distrust toward Hollywood had already grown massively by this point. Between celebrity scandals, Epstein revelations, and increasing resentment toward wealthy elites, audiences were more willing than ever to believe there were hidden systems operating behind fame and entertainment. In that environment, Mel Gibson's old warnings gained an entirely new life online. What once sounded like isolated criticism was now treated by many viewers as evidence that certain celebrities had been trying to quietly warn the public for years. And as more people revisited his interviews, one question kept appearing over and over again throughout social media discussions. If Mel Gibson really did see something disturbing inside Hollywood, how much does he actually know that the public still hasn't heard yet? For a long time, Jim Carrey was known as one of the funniest and most unpredictable stars in Hollywood. His energy, expressions, and iconic movie roles made him one of the biggest actors on the planet. But over the years, fans started noticing a major change in the way he spoke during interviews. Instead of acting like the loud comedian audiences grew up watching, Jim began talking about fame, power, corruption, and the illusion behind celebrity culture in ways that genuinely confused people at first. Some viewers thought he was joking. Others believed he was trying to tell the public something much deeper. One moment in particular completely changed the internet's perception of Jim Carrey. During a red carpet interview years ago, Jim suddenly interrupted the typical celebrity questions and started speaking about how Hollywood was obsessed with meaningless symbols, fake importance, and superficial power. He mocked the entire atmosphere around celebrity culture, making comments that sounded almost philosophical and unsettling at the same time. The clip immediately went viral because of how unusual it felt. Most celebrities carefully play along with Hollywood traditions, but Jim appeared completely detached from the system itself. At first, mainstream audiences brushed the interview off as Jim simply being eccentric, but as years passed and more scandals started surrounding Hollywood elites, people revisited those interviews from an entirely different perspective. Suddenly, viewers started treating Jim Carrey less like a comedian making random comments and more like someone who had become disillusioned after witnessing the darker side of fame firsthand. That's when conspiracy-focused communities online fully embraced him. Videos analyzing Jim Carrey interviews began exploding across YouTube and TikTok, with creators claiming he had been exposing hidden truths in plain sight for years. Clips of Jim discussing the game of Hollywood, fake identities, and corrupt systems were edited together with footage of celebrity scandals, Epstein headlines, and elite Hollywood events. The internet transformed him into another celebrity figure supposedly trying to warn people about what really happens behind the scenes in entertainment. And then Ellen DeGeneres became part of that conversation. For years, Ellen built one of the most successful daytime television careers in the world. Her public image revolved around kindness, humor, generosity, and positivity. Millions of viewers watched her dance on stage every afternoon while celebrities laughed beside her. To audiences at home, Ellen represented comfort and friendliness. But eventually, cracks started forming in that image, and once they did, the internet never looked at her the same way again. The biggest turning point came when former employees from the Ellen DeGeneres show accused the workplace environment behind the scenes of being toxic and hostile. Multiple reports claimed staff members experienced mistreatment, fear, favoritism, and intense pressure while working on the show. The accusations shocked viewers because they completely contradicted the cheerful image Ellen presented publicly for years. Suddenly, social media users began asking a disturbing question: was Ellen's be kind image completely fake the entire time? The backlash became enormous almost overnight. Former guests, employees, and industry insiders began sharing stories online describing uncomfortable interactions with Ellen behind the scenes. Viral threads appeared everywhere discussing rumors about how celebrities and workers were allegedly treated around her, even though some stories were impossible to verify fully. The sheer amount of negative attention completely changed public perception. Then internet investigators started revisiting Ellen's connections to powerful Hollywood circles. Old party photos, celebrity friendships, award show appearances, and elite social gatherings suddenly became subjects of online analysis. Like many celebrities connected to Hollywood's upper circles, Ellen's name eventually became tangled in larger internet discussions involving Jeffrey Epstein, celebrity influence, and alleged elite networks operating behind closed doors. One clip that fueled massive online discussion was the famous Oscars moment where Ellen ordered pizza for celebrities during the Academy Awards broadcast. At the time, it looked like a harmless comedy segment designed to entertain viewers. But years later, conspiracy-focused creators revisited the footage frame by frame, pointing out celebrity reactions, interactions, and connections that they claimed looked suspicious in hindsight. The fact that Harvey Weinstein appeared during the segment only intensified speculation after his later criminal scandals became public knowledge. As bizarre as it sounds, internet communities became obsessed with analyzing celebrity conversations involving words like pizza, parties, and coded language after Epstein-related conspiracies exploded online. Many of these theories were based on speculation rather than evidence, but social media amplified them endlessly. Ellen's name repeatedly appeared in those discussions simply because of her connections to Hollywood's most powerful celebrities and executives. And then viewers began linking Ellen and Jim Carrey together through a completely different lens. Old clips resurfaced showing Jim behaving strangely around celebrity culture while Ellen continued presenting polished Hollywood entertainment every single day. To conspiracy audiences, the contrast looked symbolic. Jim represented the celebrity who escaped the illusion, while Ellen represented someone deeply connected to Hollywood's inner social structure. The internet pushed this narrative aggressively. Videos with titles claiming Jim Carrey exposes Ellen or Jim Carrey warned us about Hollywood spread rapidly online, often using heavily edited interview clips designed to create suspense and mystery. Even when Jim never directly mentioned Ellen by name, creators would splice footage together to imply hidden meaning between separate interviews and public appearances. What made these videos so effective was the emotional atmosphere surrounding Hollywood at the time. Public trust in celebrities had already weakened significantly after years of scandals involving executives, producers, and famous public figures. Audiences were becoming increasingly suspicious of carefully crafted celebrity images. So when someone like Jim Carrey openly criticized fame and superficial Hollywood culture, people became far more willing to believe he knew things the public did not. Meanwhile, Ellen's reputation continued collapsing online. Every resurfaced clip, awkward interview moment, or old joke became re-examined under a microscope. Social media users analyzed her facial expressions, celebrity friendships, and even audience interactions searching for hidden meanings. Some theories became so extreme that they completely separated from reality, but by then, conspiracy culture surrounding Hollywood had already become one of the internet's biggest forms of entertainment. And throughout all of it, Jim Carrey remained one of the most mysterious celebrity figures in the conversation, and like influencers constantly chasing attention online, Jim often disappeared from public view for long periods of time, making audiences even more curious whenever he spoke. Every unusual interview, philosophical statement, or emotional speech immediately triggered millions of new theories online. To supporters, Jim Carrey looked like someone who had seen behind Hollywood's carefully controlled image and no longer wanted to participate in it. To critics, however, many of the internet theories surrounding him and Ellen were exaggerated far beyond reality by content creators chasing views and controversy. But regardless of where the truth actually ends, one thing became impossible to ignore: audiences no longer viewed Hollywood celebrities the same way they once did. And as more old interviews, resurfaced clips, and celebrity controversies continue flooding social media every single year, the internet keeps asking the same question over and over again: how much of Hollywood's public image is real, and how much of it has always been carefully manufactured behind the scenes?